Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions. I know it doesn't look like it's an episode of Marvel Contest of Champions, but it's going to be. Trust me on this one. We've got to start out at some point here, and I'm going to show you guys exactly where we need to go for this kind of stuff. Whenever I was doing my rank up for my last rank 5, people were asking, because I mentioned in there that, Storm was the better prestige character over any of my other mutants, and people were asking, where's this prestige calculator at? So I'm going to go one step above and beyond that and show you guys exactly where you need to go to find this at, and also show you guys how to use it. So the first place you're going to go, you want to start out in Google. This works 100 times better on a PC as opposed to a tablet. I know there are some workarounds so that you can actually use it in your tablets, but anytime I ever tried to use it in the tablet form, it was only a readme file. It wouldn't let me edit it. So what you're going to want to do first off is you want to go to Contest of Champions Reddit, and you're going to want to go there unless you've already got it bookmarked. But if you just search it and go to the Reddit page, it's going to bring you up straight here, and you're going to want to search, and you want to limit my search to just this page. You don't want it to go anywhere else. It's kind of covered up there by that, but you want to push the limit my search to, because you don't want it searching other places. And what you want to look up is Prestige Calculator. And you're going to search on these subforms for that. And you're going to pop up with a couple of different links here. This one here is the original link. The one posted by Mutamat, because he is the one that actually created this file. So let's click into that, and we have a Google Doc spreadsheet link right here at the very top, and he has got that. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to click on it, and we're going to make a copy. And when that's finished, it's going to bring it up in your stuff for you. Now, this is exactly how the file pops up first off. So you don't have to worry about anything like figuring it out. It's here. Now, he only has 5 champions in here. I am going to strongly encourage you guys to use more than 5 champions, because it's going to help level things out. It's going to show you exactly what you need. Now, I'm going to pop up. There's going to be another screen pop up in the bottom here, and let's take a look at my 4-star mutant champions. Now, this is how I figured this out. So let me go ahead. I'm going to take just a second, and I'm going to input all of this information into the prestige calculator, and I'll show you guys how I came to the conclusion that Storm was my best champion. Okay, so now I've input all the information, and you can see here it actually gives color codes as well. So what I've done is I've input the 5 top mutants that I have. These are my 5 mutants that I had that were rank 4s, and you go through and you've got a little drop down here for the rank, and it actually has places for rank 2 of 35, 3 of 45, 4 of 55 for your 5 stars, and it's got 40 of 40 to 5 of 50 for your 4 stars. So you want to pick out your rank according to those. And all of these, and I've left Storm as a rank 4 here, level 40 of 40 as well, just so you guys can see that she was actually better than Deadpool X-Force because of the SIG level. See, if Deadpool X-Force had been the same level as her, he would have been better. He would have been the better option to go with. He's really not that much more than her, but I would prefer to have her over top of him. And in this case, with him just at level 20, it actually worked out that if it hadn't been Storm, it would have been Colossus, because Colossus has a better PI, base PI, with the SIG levels that they are at. So that's one thing you have to take into consideration. You can't just look at the champions on the screen, as we see, across the way here, because Deadpool X-Force would have went out overall if I would have just looked at that screen. So you really have to come in here and take a look at this prestige calculator and see. I mean, if this is the kind of thing that you're into and you want to, rank up the most appropriate champions that you have. But Storm sitting at level 81 on the SIG level, and it just blew everybody else out of the water. So my suggestion, and I'm going to go ahead and pop back out of here and make all of my champions available, and I want to bring my filter. I want it to be all 4 stars. It is. I want to sort it by level twice. Sort it by level twice. That way it pops back up and it has all of my top champions in there. Now, this is one of the big reasons why you want to put more than just 5 in there. I do not recommend you put your top 5 in to calculate your prestige, because honestly, Ultron, Superior Iron Man, Deadpool, X-Force, Daredevil actually outranks Deadpool X-Force. I'll show you that right now as a 4-star, because my Daredevil's sitting at 99. And I'll show you also how easy this is to use. Just type 4-D. There's Daredevil. Daredevil's actually a much better prestige champion right now currently than Deadpool X-Force is, just because he's at SIG level 99. Now, let's say we awaken Deadpool one more time, he's not going to be anymore. Yeah, I mean, that's the chance you take, though. But like with Storm, so we got 4-star Storm, and she was at 81. He's a little bit. I mean, you're taking into consideration the fact that even if I awaken X-Force Deadpool just a little, if I awaken him one more time, he's still behind, or he's only ahead of Storm by 7 points. So what was that? What does that really make? 7 points. And what are the chances of getting X-Force Deadpool another 2 times? Because that's when it really starts to make a significant difference. Is whenever like he's awakened 2 more times. So you really have to keep everything in mind and figure things out the way that you want to. Now, this is the best way to calculate prestige, I think, me personally, is to take at least your top 10 champions. Because what's it really going to hurt? You see how easy it is to input all this information as it is anyway. Because there might be champions on here that are better than the ones that you have in your top 5. So I'm going to go ahead and input my top champions here. And I'm also going to, right here, real quick, I'm going to show you what you want to look for when you get in here. First off, you want to look for your champion, your rank and level, because that's the next thing that pops up right here. Your SIG level, you want that, and that's all you need. But you have to go in individually and look at it. You can't just look at a person's profile and figure out a prestige just from that, because technically you have to have top 5 anyway. So you're only getting the first 4 champions as it is. So you need to know the next one to begin with anyway. But then you really want to at least know the next 3 to 4. I mean, you can stop at 9. I always do 10 just in case, because you never know. Daredevil's relatively down there on the list, but he's higher than some of the other guys that I've got here, and you'll see whenever this all pops up. But I'm going to go ahead and input my information real quick, and I'll be back with you as soon as that's done. Okay, so I have input my information for my top 10 champions, and as you can see, it does make a difference. I mean, all the way down to number 8, the number 8th champion on here, because he does fall into my top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so he doesn't really, he's close though. I mean, he's close to it. I mean, the difference between The difference between some of these are a little bit stacked. I mean, if I just went solely by my top 5, Daredevil wouldn't have calculated into my my prestige here, and he is higher than X-Force Deadpool and higher than Superior Iron Man. And my Colossus, who is 8th on the list, is actually higher than Deadpool, X-Force, and Superior Iron Man, who sit in my top 5 as it shows on the screen. And you can see it here. He's 8th on the list down, but he does make it in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my top 5 for prestige right there. You can tell by the color coding on them that these are the ones that do fall into it. The ones that don't are completely white. So Superior Iron Man, even though he's as high as he is, technically doesn't even fall in to calculating into my prestige, and neither does Deadpool X-Force. He doesn't even fall into it because Storm, Captain America, World War II, Ultron, Daredevil, and Colossus are my 5 highest base PI champions. So it makes it a little bit easier just to go ahead and put in there all the way down to your top at least 10. I mean, these guys here, they don't really fall into place. And even Black Widow sitting at 7th overall, just above Colossus, doesn't even factor in. But there's these little tiny nuances in between each one that makes it a little bit harder to calculate. You can't just go off of the sheets because there's no way to do it. Now, the only problem with this is that it hasn't been updated since Agent Venom. So if you have any of the new champions after Agent Venom, they're not in this calculator right now. So that does kind of stink a little bit, but it's handy to have. I know whenever I was trying to calculate everyone in my battle group's prestige in Agents of Lazarus, we had one guy who had a rank 5 black Civil War Black Panther. So he wasn't even on the list here. But looking at the sheets, I could tell that Civil War Black Panther and Agent Venom were kind of similar and close as far as prestige went. So I kind of subbed out Civil War Black Panther for Agent Venom on this list. Now, that's not a guaranteed thing that it's going to work every single time if you find a champion that's close to it, because it's not going to be a completely accurate depiction of what their prestige is. But this is actually my prestige on this calculator, and this is absolutely why you want to go down to at least 10 champions. Because stuff like this right here, number 8, depending on their SIG level, number 8 could fall into your top 5 list, which is exactly what happened with this, because Daredevil and Colossus have a better base PI than Superior Iron Man and Deadpool X-Force for their awakenedness, for how much they are awakened. Put it in those terms at least, because they're more awakened than the other ones are. But that's basically how you use the calculator. This is the best method of using the calculator, I think, and I would recommend highly at least putting your top 10 in. And like I said, I don't recommend you trying to do this on your tablets or your phones, because anytime I've done it, it doesn't want to work. So your best method of doing it, and it's so much easier to do it on a PC anyway, so I would just do it there. But that's basically the gist of it. That's where you find it at. There's all kinds of good information on that Champions Reddit page too. Like there's a lot of stuff on there that's kind of drivel and people advertising stuff and whatever, but there's also a lot of good information on there. Aside from this, there's weekly AQ results posted up, so you can see what the results were from AQs. If people submitted them, you can go submit your own for your own and let people know what you scored. And there's also the weekly updates on the arenas as well. That's where most of the information for all that stuff comes from. You see the Marvel Contest of Champions on Facebook, Trucos. That's where that information comes from. That's where it's gathered whenever they put up and say, hey, this is what the cutoff was for this, and because that's where they get the information from. There's no other way that they could get it any other place, because that is the best compiling that I've seen done for any game so far. But this is like the first time I've ever checked any of that kind of stuff out. But that's basically it, guys. That's your prestige calculator. Hopefully this helped you guys out. And if it did help you out, please leave a like on this video, share it, comment, let me know what you guys thought. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Later.